Greetings. I am with Taiko Aoki-Marcial, who's visiting Seattle, just having returned from Madrid, where she's lived for the last several years, and who I've known, first met when she was 1 year of age in 1981. Her dad, David Marcial, who now lives in somewhere...
Port Richey, Florida.
Port Richey, Florida, thanks. And both have known and seen my work going back to 1981. Right. And showing them 3 works from my companion to the Holocaust series called Sightseeing with Dignity series. We have Reuben Stacy on the left, a young African-American man who was lynched in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 1937. Here in the center we have Ken Saro-Wiwa, the Nigerian author, playwright, and environmental activist who was executed after a sham trial by the military regime in Nigeria some years ago. And on the right, a drawing I called The Birth and Death of the World, a 2-month-old Vietnamese girl infant who had hydroencephalitis, born in 1998, died at 2 months of age from a swelling of the brain brought on by Agent Orange dioxins in the waters of Vietnam, left over from the U.S. military war and genocide in Vietnam. And
I guess the thread that, to me, that runs through this is denial. Denial throughout, denial of racism now that exists. If you look, if you read Michelle Alexander and New Jim Crow, more black American men are incarcerated now than were enslaved back in the days of slavery, and that's going on. And there's this denial of racism now existing now as they disenfranchise people. So that's going on there. The denial of what's going on in and just a willful ignorance. And the malleability of our people to be, to focus on somebody like Hugo Chavez and all of the supposed bad things that he's doing and this is one of the largest suppliers of oil to this country, and he was a very decent, courageous man who was killed essentially because he was posing a very, very significant problem to the Shell Oil Company, and they, the generals who were bought off, they did what they wanted to do and they killed him. And this other one here, it's like, well, it's all over in Vietnam, nothing, except for the fact that people still step on live ammunition and die to the tune of thousands. And the legacy of
worldwide with landmines, right. It's a huge.
And these people still being born because of something that they denied, even to the American soldiers who came back.
To add, the United States, according to an article I read sometime in the last year, is finally admitting responsibility for the Agent Orange dioxins.
Right.
And they're finally going in, but this really annoys me. The United States is one of a number of countries, a small number, that have refused to sign the landmine, this International Landmines Treaty to ban the use of landmines, which, as you say,
big money,
maim and kill people all over the world from wars that have long ended.
Farmers, out there with the horse and the plow, boom.
Yeah. So, Taiko, any?
Well, I don't have as much eloquent input, but I am wondering about the sewing.
The sewing. What are you wondering?
I'm wondering what this is, first of all.
Okay.
And why you chose to sew it.
I've sewed in, I think, 2 or 3, a couple of the Under the Wings of God, the Holocaust series artworks. I've done sewing and stitching. And one has collage, which I managed to not do in 7 or 8 years of art school back in the 1970s. So this is like a way for me to finally do it. This was meant to be the noose.
Okay,
see, look here in terms of Reuben Stacy.
Right.
So
he was hung.
Yes.
Yeah.
With 4 others. It wasn't just him. There were 4 others.
And I don't know why I did this in terms of like apparel around under his neck shirt, but it just sometimes things are just done for aesthetic art reasons that may not be specifically have to do with the aspects of history in the works. So
Well, that's interesting.
Thank you
Stuff.
both.
Good stuff.
Thank you.